Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm JSB, and today on Acting is Reacting we are in part 2 of what was not meant to be a two-part video, but it's become one. This is the random foreplay with Stephen Stills from his Carry On box set. It's become part 2 because part 1 turned out to be a super long track. I'll have a link to that below if you somehow started watching part 2 before you've seen part 1. I'd recommend going back to that because that's where I'm going to talk about the whole concept of the random foreplay and a bit of a breakdown about why I'm a Stephen Stills fan in the first place. Now we're just going to crack on with 3 more, hopefully what they have to be, shorter tracks from somewhere across the remaining 81 options. As we found out on track 1, anything can happen. So let's crack on and find out what Mr. Stills has in store for us next. By the way, the shortest song that we can possibly hear is My Love is a Gentle Thing, which is 1:24. So that would be quite a contrast if that comes up. And if it does come up, it's not planned. It's just absolute random chance, okay? And it won't come up because there's 80 other songs that will come up for it. Let's see. Track number 2 of Random Foreplay number 1. Okay. So this is Buffalo Springfield track. Even those who don't know Buffalo Springfield will probably recognize that this is also half of the CSN track Carry On. She adapted to fit that song, supposedly at the behest of Graham Nash, who thought that Deja Vu was lacking something to really kick it off. Worked. This is from 1968, the Last Time Around album. Just the, that's right. Already know, or guess if you didn't know, the final Buffalo Springfield album of the 3 that they actually released.
What you do and what you see. Come on, lover, talk to me.
Weirdly enough, I don't actually own Last Time Around. And pretty much everything Stills has ever been on, but somehow that one has evaded me. You could probably get all 3 of the albums pretty cheaply, probably in a box together these days. I should look into that.
Now that we found each other, where do we go now? I'd like to know what you're thinking. Answer me slowly now.
So this is a verse that's not included in the later Carry On version.
What you do and what you see. Come on, lover, talk to me. Yeah.
This box set is of course called Carry On, so there's a possibility that we'll hear that version right after this. There's 79 other possibilities, of course. Or is it 80? I lose track, can't do maths. Short track, certainly compared to what we heard in part 1, just under 3 minutes there. And we're coming straight into track number 3 of Random Foreplay, and it is, I mean, this couldn't be more different. This is great. This track is War Games from Allies, which was a live album with 2 extra studio tracks on it, including this one. Jeff Volcaro on the drums on this, by the way. You'll soon discover is somebody I talk about an awful lot. He's quite possibly my favourite drummer of all time. Oh, it's so hard not to sing along. But you would not want me to. This is a short, nippy little number as well. It's was a single, reached number 45, which is, I think, the last single by CSN to actually make the Billboard Hot 100. I say CSN, Crosby is nowhere near this track. Again, his name's on the album for sales, which you can really get. This was intended to be the soundtrack, theme tune, whatever, for a film I've never seen with Matthew Broderick, which I forget the name of. Probably had war in the title as well. But for some reason it was cut at the 11th hour, so it didn't help it in terms of sales or airplay, I'm sure. Short and sweet. This is just over 2 minutes, really. Okay, I'm just going to pause this for a tiny second. If you enjoyed those two tracks, they are vastly different. We had Buffalo Springfield, followed by 80s era CSN, which not even really with the C, but you know. I'm a big fan of both of those songs. I know War Games is not to everybody's taste, but again, it's probably a track that, despite having been a single at the time, a lot of old school CSN fans might not have ever heard it. So if that was your first time hearing it, I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll find out now what the fourth and final track for this random foreplay is going to be. Drum roll, please. All right. We are really covering the whole of his career in 4 songs here. This is Treetop Flyer from the Stills Alone album from 1991. Again, this is a track that you should listen to the lyrics to, not me, really. Yeah.
I don't do business that don't make me smile. I love my aeroplane, 'cause she got style. I'm a treetop flyer.
Yeah, I don't know when he wrote this, but it is in another version, of course. It's on the
I'll fly
it's
in a
funny
cargo
enough, there's a version on the Allies album that War Games came off.
The bush league pilots,
And it's on
they just can't get the job
the concert
done.
film
You got to
that
fly
has
down into the
Crosby
canyons.
drugged out,
You'll
man.
see the sun.
He's scary to watch in that film.
There's no such thing as an easy
It's amazing he only passed last year.
treetop
R.I.P. by the way,
flyer.
Cross. Speaking of Cross. In that film and possibly on the album, Stephen says that this is written about
I'm in high demand.
his generation, people coming back from Vietnam with
Go 15 feet over
an
the
interesting
Rio Grande.
and unique set of skills, you might say.
I'll
Hopefully
blow
their
the mesquite
wives were never taken, because who knows what they would have done with their
singing.
planes.
Seldom seen, especially when I land. I'm a treetop flyer. Born survivor.
Stills Alone is a very short album, and it's a very rare album. It's not one I've ever been able to track down. I believe entirely acoustic like this, and generally regarded as brilliant, but I'm saying, if you can track it down, good luck. You've got a spare copy floating around.
People been asking me where'd you learn to fly that way. He's over in Vietnam
There we are.
chasing NBA. The government
So something good came out of that war.
and they taught me right. Stay down under the tree line, you might be alright. Treetop flyer. So I'm coming home, I'm running low and fast. I promised my woman this is gonna be my last. I get the ship down, I tie her fast. And then some old boy walks up and he says, hey son, we'll make some fast cash. Treetop flyer. Well, there's things I am, and there's things I'm not.
More of a bluesy style from Stills on this one. Really suits his voice. Great stuff.
I ain't going to die. I ain't going to get caught. You see, I'm a flying fool in an aeroplane. It's just too hot. I'm a treetop flyer. Born survivor. Usually work alone.
Okay, that's the end of track 3 of part 2 of the Random Foreplay with Stephen Stills. Shall we play Here's What You Could Have Won? I think we have to, don't we? If it hadn't been that 4, and it had been the next 4, we would have had a very different version of the Lee Shaw from the one most people know. The remix of 4 and 20 from Deja Vu. Helplessly Hoping. Probably the original from CSN, I'm not sure. And Mary Ann from Stephen Stills 2. So probably some better known songs in that block. I thought this worked. I had fun. I enjoyed having no clue what was coming next until it came. And hopefully, if somehow you're new to Stephen Stills or don't know him outside of CSN, CSNY, you've got a new appreciation for him because he is extraordinary talent, who's unfortunately overshadowed by his Canadian colleague, I think. I mean, he's not helped himself over the years. If he was half as prolific as Neil, that would be probably too much for most people, but he could have had more output over the last 40 years and more quality output than what we have had from him in different circumstances. But it is what it is, and there's so much great material with his name and stamp all over it as it is. So happy birthday again, Mr. Stills, 79 years. Congratulations. Okay, well, thanks again for joining me. Once again, hit like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And see you on the next video, when and indeed if that ever happens. It should do. I'm getting into this now. Bye for now.